It was a conversation 7 months in the making, and it finally went down tonight. I sat down with someone who I've been looking quite forward to having a back and forth with between what I call his conspiracy theories and he calls essentially facts, discussing some inner workings on how the school board functions because he's a former school board member. I don't know how it was going to go, but it was great. We actually see eye to eye on a few topics that I never would have guessed we would have. But nonetheless, we got through it. We enjoyed it. And there's plenty left out there for us to do it again sometime soon. So I hope everyone enjoys the long-awaited episode of the Dirty Dio podcast with none other than Mr. Ryan Scalf. With not a weekly, not with Rick, not with Coach Turner. I'm back to I'll just call them the random conversations. I've been looking forward to this one. We've been trying to get it locked in for months.
I'd say back since April.
Yeah, and I'm finally sitting here across from Mr. Ryan Scalf. Thank you for joining me, and I'm glad we finally we're able to connect and get it set up.
I'm excited to do this with you tonight.
So for various reasons, I've been looking forward to the conversation. I think there might be some stories or information you'd just like to get out that people might be interested in. I'm also intrigued by at least one of your, I'm going to call it a conspiracy theory. You won't call it a conspiracy theory. To my understanding to you, it's just the way it is.
That's what the Bible says.
Oh man, this could get deep if we're going there. Oh boy. But anyways, let's just dip the toe in the water with just a little bit of background. I'm guessing most people listening to this know who Ryan Scalf is, but born and raised in Knoxville, correct?
That is correct.
Attended Knoxville High School, or Knoxville Schools, graduated from Knoxville High School what year?
1993.
93. All right.
Went here all the way up to 6th grade.
Okay.
And then my dad joined the military.
Right.
He got in the Army, and then I spent my 6th grade year down in Pensacola, Florida.
Oh, okay.
And then he got stationed over in Hawaii, and I spent my 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th grade year going to school over on Oahu.
Oh, that's right. I think I did kind of know you went to Hawaii for a while.
Yeah.
That's
kind of back here to graduate.
That's kind of a cool experience. I mean,
a little depressing, but it's...
Yeah, but I mean... Not too many kids get that, but at the same time, I guess...
I cried when I left.
Yeah, I bet. Following high school, you joined the military right after high school, or no?
No, not right after. I joined the National Guard first, so that I started going to school, and I went to school down in SIU for a year, and then wheels kind of fell off a little bit and decided to join the military and get some growing up in me. And
well, back in that day, I think a lot of wheels fell off with kids at SIU.
Yeah, that was top 10 party school of the nation that year.
Yeah. So I guess while in the military or National Guard, I mean,
started National Guard from there, and then I ended up going active duty Army.
Okay, so where'd that lead you? What'd you get to see and do there?
Basic training in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Okay. In the dog days of summer, it was ungodly hot.
I bet.
They're running you, then wait until you get all sweaty and find the biggest grassy mowed patch and go and roll us in it, get us all itchy, run some more.
No thanks.
Then I went down to Fort Bliss, Texas for some air defense artillery training. That was the first MOS that I was in from we roll back. That was when I first joined the National Guard. That was my first MOS. Okay. I went to was the air defense, and then when I went active duty, I reclassified and then went signal, and ended up down at Fort Gordon, Georgia, for a year, doing signal and learning how to do line of sight communications.
All right.
And then from there, I ended up getting stationed my own self back over in Hawaii again.
Oh, so you've been around.
10 years in Hawaii, actually, total.
Oh, really?
Just under.
And here we are in this November Illinois weather.
It's lovely.
I guess professionally, you, and I don't know all your professions, but my main one I got here, you made your mark not only locally in the area, but I think a very broad area when you opened Military Memories and More, which was, this might be a wrong description, you can correct me, a frame shop.
Yep, custom picture framing.
Yeah.
It all originated from being military oriented. My uncle, who was my mom's brother, he had actually started and came up with the concept and was doing this all back when he lived out in California. And at that time, my mom was teaching tumbling. She had the Lynn's tumbling for I don't even know how long, all my life basically. She taught gymnastics here while her back and everything from doing all that started failing her, and she was trying to come up with a new idea of revenue and what can I do that I like to do.
Yeah.
And so she and my uncle did some research, and from doing it rather than doing the designs and setups by hand, we found this computer operated system that is based out of Switzerland that they actually ordered, and we had come in, and we had to work hard to learn how to use it. But once I figured out how to use it, there wasn't anything that I couldn't make. It was
well, I know,
imagined.
I've used it for a couple things, a couple plaques, and the biggest thing was for Dave Whiteman's. I don't know if you call it shadow, but they're not shadow boxes. I'm sorry, but like we gave him the honorary letter, and like turned out amazing.
Yeah.
So like the stuff you guys did up there, top notch. I guess I've always been curious, who's your biggest client? Not by most things purchased, but like, did you have any like names or like, you know what I mean? Like,
did I have any people that? Well, locally, I would say my biggest person is Ken Johnson. Shout out to Ken Johnson.
Yeah.
He's into horses, and that guy, I would say, every week he was coming in and having things done. I can't wait to get out to see. I'd love to get out to see the barn that he's got set up out there.
And where's that at? Locally?
I'm not even sure. It's outside of the town of here in Knoxville.
Okay,
I'm not sure exactly where. But overall, I'd say famous-wise, I haven't really. I mean, the biggest story I've got was where we had the CBS set designer of the TV show Bull. It was in the very first season of Bull. It was the main character was from the show NCIS originally.
Okay.
Well, somehow they had found our website because they were having an episode, season 1, episode 14 exactly. I'm not sure how many minutes into the show.
Right.
But they were filming a scene where they had a U.S. Army colonel's office that they were needing to have, stuff hanging up on the walls to make it look legit. And somehow they found our website over here in Knoxville, Illinois. And
that's crazy.
We made the stuff for the show.
That's
for
crazy.
That
That's cool. Like, was it just random generic stuff, but still?
No, I made it look like where like somebody had been presented an award in a Bronze Star.
Yeah.
So I actually did replica certificates and all that stuff. My signatures are actually on the certificates in the show.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat.
One other one I would say would be one of the guys from Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm drawing a blank on the character of him right now, but yeah, one of the main guys from Full Metal Jacket has reached out to us, and we've done some stuff.
Do you still? I know the shop's closed. Do you still do anything on the side at all?
I still do local. I've shut down the main street shop. Is done. We've got a spot down on Broad Street where we've built a little shop and just kind of
here in town.
Here in town. Down at Lynn's tumbling spots.
Oh, okay. So you dabble
do it
still.
local. Still do all the police stuff. Knox County and Galesburg Police Department, all their retirement ceremonies. Still doing all that stuff.
Well, there you go. I guess if you're ever in the market, you need something framed, or do you still do the digital printing like on plaques and stuff?
Yeah, I do all of it. Sublimation. I'm more than just framing. We're a one-stop shop. I can know how to Photoshop. I do it all.
Well, there you go.
309-289-0099.
Well, there you go. If anybody's in the market, I've seen the stuff firsthand, and it's not chintzy. It's quality stuff. You won't be disappointed with it. So I know recently you've had some hectic times going on personally, which is why our meetings got, pushed back. So without diving into it, airing out any business that's not mine to air out, I guess how's everything going at this point?
Right now, things are going really good.
Good.
This year, though, has been probably the most trying year of my life.
Yeah. I know we spoke a couple times.
Relationship-wise, I've had some trying times finding out what's real and what's not.
Right.
You know? Spend 30 years with somebody and then find out it ain't what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Kind of hurts, you know.
Yeah.
Being a family man, it's not what I had envisioned for myself.
Correct. Yeah, I mean,
then
I'm glad it wasn't me. I'm not glad it was you.
Man.
You know, like,
hey, I'm taking a lot of things from it. I've started off in the negative light of it all, but as of lately, I've been trying to look at it from a more positive way and just trying to build myself and be the best that I can be for my kids. That's the most important thing for me right now is just being there for the kids.
Yeah, that's good.
You know.
So as long as, you know, everything's going well, it's turning into some positives somehow. I mean, that's all you can ask for.
That's all you can ask for.
I will say, I can't help but picture you as Ace Ventura driving down the road with your head out the window because you can't see through your
shattered windshield.
I can't help but just picture you going down the road like leaning out with your sunglasses on. Maybe that's, I don't know if that's a low blow. I'm sorry if it was, but that's every time I when you.
I would imagine that everybody that was in town saw it up at Big Cats.
Oh my God.
I should have put a $25 smash it sign so I could at least cover my deductible.
Oh, shoot. Not funny, but I guess funny. You got to find the funny.
You got to laugh at yourself, otherwise you'll just decide.
Yeah, so.
I'll start rolling up and crying.
But anyways, like I said, I'm glad everything's, you know, moving in the past for you, and it's, you know, circling into positives. And
Definitely is. Yeah. Definitely is. But, I mean, on the other note of it, I've got both of my parents they've been dealing with a lot of things. But, my mom just had triple bypass open heart surgery.
Yeah, I think I
found out about that.
I think I heard about that.
My dad's he's battling some things. He's got some lymphoma cancer going on. Cancer sucks, obviously.
Oh, yeah, that's no fun.
So, I mean, we see a lot of people around here dealing with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Rick obviously is one of them that you have and talk to all the time.
Yeah.
It's not fun to see the before and what it is. It's hard.
It's not.
It's hard.
I mean, I see Rick. I haven't for a couple weeks. Been busy. I see Rick every week.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get easier.
No.
But then when people, he came to the Letterman's banquet, we gave him a little honor. Great turnout for him, but people were taken aback a little bit. And it's just.
Well, shout out, Rick, man. I hope you're doing okay, buddy.
And unfortunately, it's a part of life that fucking sucks.
I know. It does, man.
That's all there is to it.
It does.
But yeah, so that's a little, you know, background. I guess we will, dive into a little more of the meat and potatoes of the conversation. Right. And see where that leads. Correct me on any information or times, schedules I have wrong, but back in 2020, the whole world found themselves in some peculiar time. We'll just call it peculiar. COVID and the regulations and blah, 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 everything that came with that. That's a whole new branch of a whole new conversation.
It was quite an adventure.
Yeah. But this triggered something in you that made you decide to run for school board because you were unhappy with, unhappy might be the wrong word, but you disagreed with some of the situations, not just locally, education-wise.
Common sense has been lost.
Yeah, so you ran for school board. I guess, is that exactly what made you run for school board, the whole pandemic?
That was a big part of it. My oldest daughter, Kinley, who at that time was a senior, I got to watch all of her senior year get ripped away from her.
She graduated in 20?
Yes.
Or 21.
21.
So yeah, 21 was worse than the kids that graduated in 20.
20, yes. So
kids that graduated in 20 just got out in March.
Right, and that's where it drew me. I was like, I'll be damned if I'm going to have this happen to my kid.
Right.
And everybody else's kid. I didn't do this just for myself, and I didn't do it for selfish reasons.
Right.
I didn't want to do it, to be honest with you. I had a voice.
Yeah.
Where I wasn't a very religious person leading up to all of this stuff.
Right.
And somehow paths and my way of thinking and everything else kind of changed. And I had something else, a energy and something pushing me, telling me that I needed to do it. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that I did, because I don't know if many other people would have wanted to or could have, you know,
I
at that
agree.
time.
So, I mean, I'll just be honest with you. I didn't always agree with your positions or thoughts, but the one thing I always will, for anybody, respect and admire that you did, as a lot of people will say it. Oh, this is bullshit. I'm going to do something. You didn't just say it. Matter of fact, you didn't say it a whole lot. You just did it. So, like, you went with what you thought was right for you, yours, and your community, and put boots on the ground rather than just, so, like, I don't know if I've ever told you, but, like, I admire that. Whether I agree with anybody or not, like, there's people I disagree with completely, but they're doing what they're passionate about. So I don't knock that.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so, and I think, I mean, let's be honest, you probably understand, because you know how it is around here. You got a bad rap a lot.
Oh, yeah.
A lot. They probably still do.
But I wasn't running to be a popular or popularity contest.
Yeah. So that, but I think more people than would maybe admit would agree. All right, but at least he's doing something. That's more than I'm doing. Like, you know, I mean, that's.
Well, I can't tell you how many times I would get calls or texts and emails saying, I need to be doing this. I need to be doing that. Well, how about all you folks come out here and help and do it, and let's all do it together.
Yeah.
And there might be more of an effect to it besides just sitting back and waiting for the same half dozen individuals to be doing.
Right.
You got a bunch of people that want to tell you what you need to be doing and what we should be doing, but nobody wants to stand up and do it because it's an inconvenience. It's not comfortable. It's not comfortable getting up in front of people and speaking
and deciding the fate. We'll call it fate of, I don't know how many kids in this district. Let's say 600 kids and their families. Like, that's on your shoulders.
It was such an eye-opening experience, man.
So a couple things. While you were on the board, you were on there from what? When did you get on?
4 years I was on. So this last April was when I was done.
So 21 to 25, essentially.
21 to 25.
What do you feel, personally, your greatest accomplishment of your 4 years that you're most proud of?
What I'm most proud of
on the
is
board,
being able to get the homeschool students to be able to participate in all of our activities if they're willing to follow whatever guidelines we're setting.
Right.
You know, so I think we're finding that we've got one individual, Adeline Powell. She's excelling.
100%.
Greatly in the wrestling program. I think she set the high jump record at the Knoxville Junior.
Oh, really?
High. Yes, she did. I mean, so I would think that getting that passed through was probably one of my biggest achievements, along with getting some of the coaches that we had in that program also.
Right. And I guess on the flip side of that, what do you think maybe was left on the table that you didn't get to finish up?
Becoming president. I left that on the table. I felt like I was this close, and I helped get some people on the board that are still on the board that end up backstabbing you, you know.
Yeah.
Work real hard to think that they're going to become the power of four with you to make some major change, and then they get fear factored into thinking that they're going to be sued or have something bad happen to them, so they flip to the dark side.
Well, I will say, like, going back to, like, you getting a bad rep, people coming around. So when you first got on and were running, for whatever reason, Becky McCracken, she always asked my opinion. She would always call me and ask my opinion. And I don't know why she would call me. I like Becky. I really...
She likes to gab.
I have nothing against Becky.
Rest in peace, Becky.
She was a very sweet lady, opinionated, whatever. But I would give it to her like I was giving it to an enemy. Like I'd just go up one side and down the other with her. But one of her big things was, how do you think Ryan Scalf's to me? How do you think? And I told her, I'm probably not going to agree with half of what he says, but he's doing it. That's more than 90% of the people nobody else is doing it. So it's whatever. And I'm a firm believer that a person in a voted position, you were an elected official, you were elected to make your decision. So the only way to be mad at it and fix it, next election.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's the only way to get out there and do it. You got to get out there and do it.
So it's like you can't be mad at it. I mean, you can not like it, but that's essentially, I mean, that's how it works.
Right.
But she came around towards the end. She's like, he's not such a pain in the ass as I thought he'd be. And he's actually pretty level-headed. He's pretty, he'll ask questions. He'll speak up. And so it just...
When I first got on there, we were completely mortal enemy. Like, we were enemies, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
she was on the other side of the whole entire thing.
Right.
Like, and it's amazing how over the course of that 4-year time, I got super close with Rebecca.
Yeah.
We talked a lot, a lot. I mean, sometimes some people on the board, they probably have no idea how many times we communicated at the end. It's amazing how once you start having a dialogue and are able to be open and have the difference of opinions, but just have a conversation like we're having right now.
Yeah, 100%.
It totally flipped it, man.
I mean, you and I are going to have a conversation
love Rebecca.
after this where we see polar opposites.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I ain't mad about it. You know what I mean? I said, it's whatever. I'm interested in it. So another thing I'm curious, somebody who's been there behind the scenes, I guess not really behind the scenes, in the main scene, we've had a lot of turnover. The new superintendent coming in is our 8th superintendent since the 1920 school year. What do you think is the cause, your opinion, for all of the turnover in that office?
Well, had they voted the way it needed to go with Dr. Guerrero and went with the other doctor, Mike Martin, I believe might have been his name, that we could have had, we would have had a gentleman here for at least 12 years, I would say.
Yeah.
As opposed to getting the shiny new little race car that they thought was going to be amazing.
Right.
That skated out of here just like I knew it was going to. I'm the only no vote on that, by the way.
Yeah.
Everybody else voted yes. So I voted no on that for the record.
Real quick, I just want to say that too. I feel sometimes, and this is just a personal opinion, and not just Knoxville, depending on where you're at in the order of voting, I think some people, like let's say you voted last for that. You were the 7 votes? You were the
I think I already knew we lost, but I still stuck.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people would have just said yes to go with it.
Right.
That's part of what I say. Like you knew your vote at that point didn't matter, but you were still.
And I'll tell you why I do that is because I compromised myself on an occasion of that matter, and I lost so much sleep over not holding to my principles.
Right.
That I was like, I am not for the rest of this time that I'm on here, I am not going to do that to myself. Like I completely chickened out and went with what you said with this, because I knew the vote wasn't going to go my way. I chickened out and didn't hold to my truth.
Right.
You know.
And then you're like, well, shit.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
now I'm on record for saying that I did. So now if something bad goes down with it, now I'm saying I said yeah to it.
Right. I see.
And it ain't. We don't really get true votes anyway. The way it's designed,
yeah. So like, it's just crazy. I mean, I would be as bold to say, as far as turnover in that office, there's been nothing like it in the state of Illinois over the same period. And can't be nothing like it.
They keep picking some real winners. I'll tell you. We had Jeff Schoonover, for example. Does everybody needs to know that aside from our holidays and everything else, this man was MIA for 80 working days. Tell me where you can go and do that and still have your job, and then go and get scooted out of here and get rehired over in Galesburg and do the same damn thing that you did here. They didn't even call to inquire why we got rid of him. So you just keep having all these pieces of shit come through from school to school to school with no checks and balances, and they're just going to keep doing the same result at every school that they go to.
Yeah.
You know?
I will say that the new guy coming in, I actually had him as a study hall teacher when he was here in Knoxville. I think I was a junior when he came, maybe. And I worked for him. He was actually been my superintendent when I was in South Pekin. And I don't know the ins and outs of a superintendent. You just work for him, you know. In my position now as co-president of the union, I obviously work closer with him. But I truly feel he's a pretty decent dude. And down there, everybody loved him. And I know some people say, "Oh, that's not the guy you want." Yeah, but is it? You don't know.
I don't really, honestly. I don't think I know Mr. Whitsitt.
Yeah.
So I can't attest to.
Well, I'm not talking about Mr. Whitsitt.
Oh, you're talking
about the Dr. Brooks that's coming in.
Dr. Brooks
that we just hired.
He starts. Yeah. I've been out of the loop. I didn't even know that.
I will say, as far as Whitsitt goes, I mean, as an interim, we got as good as we could get as an interim, because he cares about this place.
Right.
He's from this
He's
place.
from here. That's the key.
I think he's making decisions an interim wouldn't want to make, but he makes them not just, whatever. As an interim, he makes them like, no, this is
the elementary principal we got now. I wanted her years ago to be the principal down there.
Right. I think a few people did.
Yeah, she's the right call for down there. And now she's there, so.
And I believe everything's going well, and I think they're all happy down there.
Yeah, and that's the way it should be because she's built.
So it's I feel, obviously, as someone on the inside here, we're stepping in the right direction. I mean, that could all blow up, but you never know. But I think the majority of the people feel that. So I'm curious of your take on this one. When our latest superintendent left, there was an interview, I believe, with WGIL.
Oh, yeah.
Where it was essentially implied by my interpretation that the majority of the board members, which would be you included, were basically inept and had no business being there.
Is that no business being there?
That's just how that's not what she said by any means. She did not come out and say that.
That's just your interpretation of the article.
It just seemed like, oh crap, how did you take the article?
She's passing blame because I'll tell you let's just get to what school board members and what school boards really are. They don't exist. They're just pincushions for these superintendents so that when they make bad decisions, they can blame it on the school board. Because when we, as a board, get presented information, only the superintendent's one name is given to us to be able to make a vote on it. We get no information on what any of the other candidates, no resumes, nothing of what we're being presented to vote on. I mean, it's ridiculous how the voting system is.
Now, I will say on the flip side of that, I agree with what you're saying to an extent, but on the flip side of that, the superintendent is hired to do that, to find the best people.
But if you don't know that superintendent yet and you're trying to build that bond and trust, there's got to be, before you let them have the reins to be able to do that stuff, there's got to be a little bit of accountability. So here's another reason why I say this, okay? So they just give us one name and we go in there. What if we vote no on it? Now we do the whole entire process all over again where we could have knocked that out in one meeting if we would have been able to have a couple names for it. Or let's say if you just do it the real way it should be is where you do on the back end before you even go to an official vote, you do informal voting and get a feel for what all the board members are thinking. None of that happens around here, very rarely.
Can that be done?
Yeah,
that's not
all
illegal
you
or
do
anything,
is just as long as you don't do as a group messaging or group text or group email, and you do it one at a time.
Right.
The president can email each individual board member and say, hey, we're thanking this person, how you feel about it, and get a pulse. None of that happens. And then most of the time I'm walking into the meeting blindsided, and the town knows everything before the board members even know what's even going on. It's not right. A lot of information gets out there.
Yeah, so I see what you're saying, and then I see the other side of it too. Like you said, but some of you don't know, but at the same time, how long do you get,
well,
you don't want to seem like, all right, we're going to hire you, but you're under our thumb for a year.
I don't think it would be under a thumb, though, to be given an email to where I could at least look at it's like, how do I know that you're giving me the right advice?
Right.
And then it ends up being wrong.
Yeah.
I would at least like to use I'm the person making the final vote. You would think that I would be presented a little bit more information to make sure that it's a just.
So I guess what you're saying is your vote is blind based on the trust you should have in somebody else's opinion.
Right. That's a good way to word it.
Right.
Like your opinion and mine might not be the same, and now I'm going to be voting off of, and you're going to paint it the way you want it. Right. You're going to present everything the way you're going to want us to feel about this person when we don't really know this person, or who was the other candidates behind it that we can trust that was the right call. And I just think that there's a lot of policy, like that's where the first thing that needs to be dealt with in all of these school districts is the way that's done in the policies of nobody wants to attack policy.
Right.
They will just keep going with the status quo, even if it doesn't work. They're not willing to try to refunction that or redistrict. We end up doing the same things 4 and 5 times before we get it right.
Yeah.
It's just a waste of money.
I think a superintendent's job is a hard one.
I'm going to say it isn't.
I think it's almost, you don't become a superintendent to stick at one place for a long time. because you're always you're gonna rub somebody wrong, and when you rub certain people, you know what I mean. It's gonna be a cycle. Now the cycle we've had is a little crazy, not a little crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'll agree to that.
But it's a job I'd never want.
The candidates that they were brought in here, it wasn't the right ones, man. I don't even know how to say it. Is it because did we not get applicants, or did we? Or do you know? Like I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you because you only get given one name.
Oh, I see.
You know what I'm saying? Going back to. And that's for everything. Like even on your coaching, all of it, you only get the one name. You don't get to know anybody else. You don't even know how many people applied sometimes.
Right.
It's frustrating.
So I guess for the common folk that might not have any idea of the ins and outs of school board positions and what they do, or I guess for the same token, people that are invested in the district, whether it be as parents, employees, community members. As a former board member, parent, community member, student here, I mean, I guess what are some things you think people should know following your time as all of the above? You know what I mean?
Of what I've learned in terms of the information that I've been
to maybe help people understand, like, school boards a lot of times get a bad rap.
Yeah, they do.
So I guess, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's something you could tell the public, like, hey, listen, this is what we deal with,
There's a fire being brewing every single day. I mean, you're getting emails from somebody's parent or somebody within the district saying something's happening here, something's happening there. I mean, it is constant. I mean, in terms of disciplined actions, unhappy administration bickering with students supposedly threatening teachers. I mean,
right.
Unacceptable behaviors happening on buses. I mean, kids getting left on buses, sleeping on buses. I mean, being parked back in the bus garage and there's a kid still sleeping on the bus. I mean, and then we don't even find out about it until it's too late as a board member. You're always finding out after the whole entire town knows already.
Right.
And it's supposed to be the other way around. Somehow it doesn't work out that way. I'm not quite sure where the system or where it's broke at to be able to fix that, to be honest with you. But the board members are the last people to know, and they're supposed to be the first ones to be able to know because you're the ones making the decision for the community. But
does part of you wish you were still on it, or would you do it again?
My daughter's a senior this year, so I've always said, and I've been a big advocate of, this is another policy change that I would have made if I would have been in charge, is I would have made it to where in order to be a school board member, you have to have had kids in school currently or only so many years after your last kid graduates, because you lose touch.
Right.
And you have no idea what's going on in the school districts here like you think you do.
Yeah.
Just because you are a taxpayer and have the time to do it, it doesn't give you the right to go and be vice president, in my opinion.
Right. So you weren't, I mean, heck, how many superintendents were you here? You weren't here all the way back to...
Schoonover was the first one.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't vote him in, people. That was not me.
Who was right before him? Was it an interim right before him?
You had, what was his name? Gosh, dog. He was a superintendent for a long time, actually.
Here?
Yeah.
Steve?
Not
Wilder?
Steve Wilder's another one. Are you talking superintendent?
Yeah.
Nope, it was Steve Wilder. Yes, that's
he was
correct.
right before Schoonover. I lose track.
I believe it was right before Schoonover.
So yeah, there's. I mean, I think
from what I could look at from the numbers getting on the board, it was eye-opening that from 2015 on, we were just blowing money like it was hot and not replenishing anything.
Yeah,
they weren't even thinking about it. Even the way the school was built is pretty ridiculous. There's blueprints lost. They cut corners every which way. They use custom oversized doors in every entryway of the school almost. So when they go bad, what do you think the cost of those are to repair now?
Right.
You guys found that out here not too long ago, how much that repair was going to cost. I mean, there's just a lot of things that were done and behind closed doors, and the superintendents mostly expect all the school board members just to vote yes. And if you don't vote yes, you're an enemy, and they start bucking you. I don't know what, I mean, if you don't go with the status quo, you're going to catch heat for it. And I was willing to do that. I mean, I already knew when I came into it what I was walking into.
Right.
Because I'm a conservative individual, and I will say that most school boards are not.
Right.
You know.
Well, and you came in at a very heated time, anyways.
Oh.
Not just here, but
I was
across
ready
the whole
to do
country.
battle,
Like
too.
it was very contentious everywhere.
I met and educated myself on so many things to be ready for that initial school board meeting where we were going over the masks and all that stuff. I met Mr. Thomas DeVore, who actually ran for Attorney General here, became really good friends with him, was going around. He was educating me in school law. So I was ready to go in there and listen and ask the lawyer questions when it came time. And I felt like I did a good job, even though it didn't turn out the way I wanted it. And that's because one individual got scared because of the words like could, might, and should, as if that was definite, and changed the vote, you know?
Yeah, like I said, I don't think a lot of people will give you the credit, even like I just said. Like, I didn't agree with some of your stuff, but you were voted in to give your opinion.
Yeah.
So I can respect it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate
that's
you.
That's the way
man.
it is.
I think we've always been on that level together.
Yeah, so it's, like I said, I mean, thankless job, and you were on during a tough time in I'll say a tough district, and I say that because of turnover and interims, and then it changed every single year, sometimes every single year at mid-year.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just...
It's I discovered how political it was. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I mean, we actually should have had Troy Flesher on the board, if you know, and then somehow it magically turned for Vicky Rose to win by 2 votes because they somehow magically found 13 mail-in ballots. And then at 11:59 and 48 seconds before midnight, when it was an official vote, Mr. Scott Erickson over there at the county clerk's office flipped the vote for Vicky to win by 2. That's what happened.
I was like, I didn't know any of that, but yeah, that's, who knows? And the problem is, like, you almost, from all the way from the big elections down, no matter what side you're on, everybody's going to question it now.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
If your guy wins or loses, you're going to be like, but did he? Did she? Like, I don't know, because there's just so much going on.
How many people in Knoxville are sending in school board election mail-in ballots? Come on.
Right. I guess I never thought of it that way. I don't know. That's I guess maybe a valid point. But, well, I'm just glad it's not me doing any of that higher work.
I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
To say the least. I learned a ton. I mean, so educated on how the schools operate now. I had no clue. I wish I should have been going. All of you people need to be coming out and going to your school boards.
I agree with that.
And go to the meetings and know what's happening and be informed.
I agree with that.
You go walking around and then want to cast blame, but there are outlets out there for you to get educated. You just got to go every fourth Tuesday of the month down at the school district office.
Yeah, I wish more people would show up. I also wish we used to have. I thought like a local news representative used to come to every meeting. I know like the Register Mail is not what it used to be and all this and that.
Basically USA Today copied.
Yeah, it's. I almost wish we did the meetings here. You know, in the auditorium or something,
I push
bigger
for that.
venue. At the same time, when you don't fill that venue every time, what do you do?
At the time we were pushing to change the venue, it was hot around here.
Oh yeah, like it was standing room outside.
Yeah, they were locking people out when they shouldn't have been locking people out.
That might have been a well played on whose ever part.
Oh, I'm sure of that.
I think we'll just keep it over here.
Yeah, I tried to get it to the auditorium and that vote didn't go through.
No. Maybe in the future it will. We'll see how things go.
You see how we've got student council having school board election Q&As and stuff. That never used to happen before me.
Yeah.
You know, before I got to give Darcy Young some props too, because me and her went in that together.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, I think
we did.
You think I think that's a good thing. You think that's a good thing? The Q&As.
I love it.
Yeah,
I absolutely.
I agree.
I love it. I think it's great for the student council experience. I think it's great for giving opportunity.
The one thing I would change about it, and I could have the information wrong, I don't know if it's like, I wish it was kind of like, there's a microphone off the side, all right, form a line, how sometimes ask your question to the
That would be good to have a podium.
Instead of like, I won't say, fixed questions, because I think people, but I don't know who comes up with the questions.
Right, to where you wouldn't know what the question's going to be.
Yeah, let this guy come up, and he might have an off-the-wall question.
Yeah.
Which is the good kind. See what the response is.
I agree.
But I'm not bashing what they're doing at all.
It's definitely, this is only like the second year.
Yeah, it's definitely good to get, if anything, it gets a few people in to ask questions, to see and listen.
If you even just get one person more to hear something that they need.
100%. Right, so switching up a little bit.
Good stuff.
I'm very intrigued by this. You told me you'd have me changing my, you didn't say I'd change my mind. You'd have me.
You might be questioning.
Nah, I don't know. I might be questioning you more.
Nah.
But for those that can't see, which is everybody except me, Mr. Scalf is wearing a shirt that says, "Enjoy flat Earth. It's a real thing. It's the real thing."
The real thing.
So, yeah, go ahead on that one. Go ahead on that one.
Well, let's just ask you the first question. Do you believe in the Big Bang Theory? Or define theory for me first off.
No, I'm not that philosophical.
Well, this is the
theory?
beginning of it.
So theory?
Is theory fact and 100% proofs?
No, theory to me is evidence-based ideas that have been backed up. Is substantially the right word? I'll go with that. I'll go with a.
It's like the Big Bang Theory is supposed to be where the whole collision happened.
Right.
Which then created all these perfectly spherical planets that are all perfectly in alignment around this flaming ball.
Right.
So you as a kid, I know you've blown shit up.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anything coming out of an explosion that's been fucking marbled?
No.
No. That's just one little thing.
So how, maybe I'm jumping too fast ahead here. So if that's not how it went down, how did it go?
That's where I started getting into learning and reading the Bible, actually, because Genesis, actually, in the very first chapters of the very first pages of the Bible, you go read it, and it talks about God separated the waters. You know, everything was just the deep at the time, and he separated the waters above and below, and then raised the lands.
So, my contradiction to that is, there's a lot of garbage in the Bible that's garbage.
It's wrote by man, I know.
Which I think the whole thing is. The whole thing's written like due to stories, and you know how like the telephone game is, and it goes down the line. So I don't personally like. For me, I can't use the Bible as a reference because I don't believe it.
Talking about getting phases of where it's kind of started leading to it. That's in there, and it talks about the firmament and all that stuff. I'm sure you've heard the term of the firmament. Right. And that's I don't even know what it is above us that's keeping that above the waters that he separated away from us. That's just the Bible side of it all. But there's way more stuff on that goes beyond just that for me that led me to it. You got all three things that we're supposed to be basing our realities off of are all theories. You got the Big Bang Theory, the gravitational theory, the theory of relativity. They're all just theories. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was going to sneeze.
Gravity to me can be very easily explained as mass, density, and buoyancy. We're supposed to believe that down on the southern hemisphere that we got buildings and people walking upside down being held to our Earth, but yet a butterfly or a helium-filled balloon's able to just flutter away up on the northern hemisphere. So what kind of forces? I mean, you can't pick and choose. I think you should be able to feel it. You take a rock and an apple, they're the same size, looking at them. But you go and drop those two same items into a pool of water, one's going to sink and one's not because of buoyancy. It has, gravity should still be pulling that apple down, but yet it doesn't. Because,
like through the water, though.
Yeah.
But the gravity is just how fast something falls, or the pull.
Well, gravity's the force to the center of the Earth.
Yeah. So, but like when you get water involved, that is good. So like the apple and the stone that's the same size as the apple, they're going to fall at the same rate, considering you're in a vacuum. They're going to fall at the exact same rate.
Right, we're in a vacuum, but how can we be in a vacuum if we're on a ball
Well, I'm not saying we're in a vacuum, but I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like, if you were in a vacuum, like a feather's going to fall at the same rate as a bowling ball in a legitimate vacuum.
Right.
Obviously, that doesn't happen here because whatever.
We don't know. So,
yeah, the water thing.
But it's still gravity's gravity. I mean, it's going to pull through water too, either way. Gravity's just gravity. It's the force. I mean, yeah, it is.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
So if the Earth is flat,
I wouldn't say it's flat though.
Okay.
See, it's non-moving. Everything above us, we're like looking at a timepiece, the sky. That's why you look at them Starry Night paintings and you can go time lapse the sky, and everything's just spinning around the North Polaris star, which never ever moves. You know, we're supposed to be believing that we're zooming 514,000 miles an hour through an infinite galaxy, spinning 66,600 miles an hour, 66.6, mind you, around the sun, and then rotating 1,000 miles an hour on a 33 degree axis. You know, but the whole entire time we've lived our life, we've seen the same stars and constellations, depending on what time of the season. All of our life, we wouldn't be able to navigate by the oceans and the seas and stuff. Like, if we should be seeing new stars every few months with what they are trying to tell us, because the stars ain't pulling with us too. I mean, and it gets. I mean, there's absolutely no way.
So you don't think you think the Earth, I guess, is a ball?
As above, so below. It could be. You know, we got our portion up here, but we don't know what's below us. I've just always heard the term as above, so below. You know, and I've looked into it. You know.
So,
but you got mountains, valleys, peaks.
Right.
But if anybody's ever drove through Nebraska, you tell me. You know, there ain't no curve there. There's not anything. 8 inches per mile squared is the equation for the curvature of the Earth, and there's many things that you can do and disprove it by doing laser tests. Even what I specifically, when I was in the Army doing line of sight communications, is one of the hugest ones. I never even thought about it until I started getting into this, and then I reflected on what I did in the military, which is super high frequency line of sight. So us as a team are given a certain grid point that we go set up at, and we crank our masts for our antennas up to full masts, and we're told that we need to turn our antennas to say 180 degrees on our azimuth. And then over 100 miles away, there's another team that has the same antenna mast that we have cranked up, and they're turning to the same 180 degree opposite of us, so that our two antennas can do the communicating. Well, on a flat Earth, that makes sense.
Right.
But if you're on a ball 100 miles away, one antenna would have to be cranked up substantially higher than the other and angled down a bit in order to be able to get around the curve. And it don't happen that way. It just doesn't happen. I did it personally. I experienced it.
So I guess my thing is, I've looked up what would be deemed, maybe not the flat Earth map, but what people would say, all right, here's how you know what I mean? There's the map.
Right.
Like looking at the globe, here's a flat earther's map. And it's just kind of like you take what we typically know and just kind of fan it out and lay it down.
Right. They definitely took flat and globed it. That's what they did. The 1892 Gleason map is the real deal.
But then if you look at the flight pattern from New York City to Australia, it goes through Hawaii.
And
but on the flat Earth thing, it should go through Canada.
Actually,
the ones that I've seen.
Okay, well, majority of those flights, if you go and look at them, end up being straight lines on that flat Earth map. They're all showing and looking curved, and you're wondering why are we stopping here or there. Well, it really isn't when you pull up that map and look at the grid points.
But the map I pulled up. Flight goes across country. Looks like it goes L.A. I think they land in Hawaii.
I'd have to actually see the map.
You know what I mean?
To be able to see it. But
I should have had it with me here. And like I said, there could be multiple variances of this map. Because whatever reason. But you had mentioned something. Oh God, maybe a year or two ago to me. We briefly talked about this. as an ice wall
Yeah, there is.
around holding everything in.
But what's beyond the ice wall, we don't know, because if you're aware, you can only go so far in the air and by sea before you get intercepted by military aircraft or ships or whatever.
But are you saying you think there's ice all the way holding everything in, essentially?
That's any body of water has a perimeter to hold it in. There has to be. Any body of water, you name it, a puddle,
Right.
a lake, an
Right.
ocean. There's always something and there's video footage of the little parcels that you can go and see it's ridiculous looking at how, and it just goes for miles and miles. It's south is actually everything out around the perimeter. There's never ever been any navigation of our world north to south besides only east to west and west to east. You can't do it. There's never been any circumnavigating north to south, south to north.
Yeah,
it's always the other way.
So I guess that's a theory then. Ice wall's a theory.
Ice wall because we can't. You get there's
so
no,
just
you
a
can't
little
go
devil.
and you can't go there.
So just devil's
Put it that
advocate.
way.
You know what I mean? Like it's a theory, just like gravity's a theory. Just like
I hear you.
You know what I mean? Because if there's no way to go there to see it, we don't know.
The stars are a huge one for me. The stars are a real huge one. And then you got the Suez Canal where they did a laser test on it. It's 160, the most longest, flattest, straightest waterway in the world, and they did a laser test on it end to end, and they connected. I mean, you can't do that if there's 160 miles. There's going to be some kind of bend there, and lasers don't bend, and they've done that test. I mean, NASA's the biggest purchaser of helium. Our satellites, if you really think about it, how are you going to, you go launch something up there into space, and then they want you to believe that those things are in constant free fall at 17,000 miles an hour. What kind of material are we building to withstand that kind of, and we haven't had any collisions with any of the debris that we got up there. What makes more sense is that being NASA is buying all this helium, and if you can look them up, they launch them off out in New Mexico and out in Antarctica. They launch our satellites. Those are up in our own stratosphere, way, way up there, mind you. But that makes way more sense of being able to bring them things down to do repairs and updates, let alone than just keep sending these things up there.
What do you think of like images from like the space station?
There's none real. That's all fake. It's all CGI made. And they even admit that there's not one real picture of the Earth from the moon.
Who admits that?
NASA.
Like from a person or from any entity?
There's not
from
any.
anything?
What they do is they supposedly take these rendered images and some artist takes that and interprets it to what it's supposed to look like. When that's where you got the famous blue ball.
So they're
all CGI fake images.
So that's what I don't get behind.
I mean, you got the vacuum of space, and then yet we're supposed to have this flaming ball that's burning it. Can you light something on fire in a vacuum?
So what? I guess
I don't think you can.
How do you explain the seasons?
The seasons?
The weather.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Everything's always going to be somewhat of a mystery. I mean, the sun and the moon are the biggest thing to me. I don't think that the moon's something that you ain't landing on it.
Do you think?
It's all
the
fake.
moon landing.
Yeah, I mean, if
that's
they
a whole.
fake that, then
so I used to I went to my grade. Yeah, we were on the moon, and
all the things
I still
they were
believe
riding
that
around them buggies and stuff. Where'd they bring?
But then I'm like, but then I start, you listen to enough, like, okay, well that kind of makes sense.
And we only had landlines back then. We made a phone call to the moon, and we lose connection going down in a dip here.
Right.
Come on, I'm down in a valley. Sorry, I lost connection. But we called how many miles up?
Right. But then I just today, ironically, heard this Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking to Logan Paul.
Don't get me started with him.
And they're like, do you believe we landed on the moon? He's like, I know we did. And then it was just a clip, like a 60. So I didn't see the whole thing. I plan on going back just to hear it. But then, you hear, what's that guy's name that refutes it? Real famous. Shit.
Dubé.
Yes. Yeah. I've listened to him for 3 hours on
He's
Rogan.
amazing.
And Rogan was playing devil's advocate, and Rogan agrees, I can't explain that.
Yeah.
Then, but that also means just because I can't explain it.
You got the Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, and all that. So during those times of the season, so like there's those points of Alaska where you got 30 days of day and 30 days of night. At that point, when it's summertime, the sun's circumference becomes tighter, circular, and follows that shorter pattern to the center of what we would have. I don't even know what you want to call it, or it's not a planet. I wouldn't say it's our Earth. And then as the season starts becoming more winter, it starts circling back out and getting away from that point. And that's when you start getting the 30 days of night because the sun's further away.
So you just said something, and I don't want to forget it. You said, I can't call our planet, it's our Earth.
Yeah, it's an Earth. Are
the other things planets?
No, they're stars, wandering stars.
Like Jupiter's a star.
It's a star. Venus is a star, the morning star. I see it every morning when I'm driving to work. I take pictures every day.
Is the moon, quote, flat?
I think it's plasma. Some type of plasma. I don't really know, to be honest, dude.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just like...
We've only seen one side of the damn thing. And then the image that we're supposed to believe, well, we finally got an image of the dark side of the moon.
Didn't Apollo 13 slingshot around it when they lost?
Yeah, that's when they were showing a fake CGI.
I don't know.
No. Yeah. I don't know what the moon is, to be honest with you, man. That's probably the biggest, that and the sun's a mystery of it all.
Right.
But perspective, when the sun, it's not rising, it's coming at you. And it just looks like, from perspective, like if you look down a highway with the phone line.
So you think it's moving in and out, not...
It's circling. And then as the summer seasons get tighter, it's a tighter circumference.
I see what you're saying.
And then it's winter, it starts spiraling
wider
and starts going out more toward what you asked about, like the ice wall areas. It'd be further out to the furthest point of it.
Listen, I mean this with respect,
crazy,
because I respect, I love having conversations of shit I don't believe, but I think you're fucking crazy.
Yeah, well, I've been told that
in
plenty.
a good way.
I've been told that plenty.
Oh, shoot.
I just say that question everything is all,
right. Yeah, that's.
But I explain how you've seen the same constellations your whole life.
Yeah, I can't.
You can't.
Other than they must be moving with us.
No, they can't be.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, we ain't pulling everything with us.
Or are we?
No, because we're supposed to be going into new infinite fucking.
I don't know.
Areas,
But maybe that's how, that even where the stars are is that big that's moving into the infinite.
So when you're time-lapsing the sky, how is it that it's just spiral, man?
I don't know.
And the center star never moves. The North Star, you would never be able to navigate by the stars if that was the case. If we were to just be flip-flopping, zooming, like a helicopter is another real good example. So you just take off and hover in a helicopter, and we're supposed to believe our wind and everything else that we've got going around with this planet.
Like you're saying, if it hovered for 24 hours.
Yeah, it should just be able to land 4 hours, sit there and hover for 4 hours and come back down, and should be somewhere else.
Right, I see what you're saying.
But that they want to explain that as that our atmosphere is spinning 1,000 miles an hour too. So now you take that and let's just say start swirling your chocolate milk the same way.
Yeah.
And it's going to eventually take that speed. So how are we having winds blowing all over the place?
Right.
Or some days there's no wind at all. It's just still. There's a lot to think about.
No, I think you are coming off as crazy, but the older I get, the more I look forward to conversations with people I don't agree with. Because
just go out every morning now, start looking.
For a long time, you want to have the conversations with everybody you agree with because it makes you feel validated.
Right.
And I still like those conversations because I still feel validated. But I I'm not huge into politics, but the older I get, the more I am paying attention at least. And I love conversations with people that disagree with me. One, I like to be a little antagonist.
Devil's advocate.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like my favorite podcast is The Necessary Conversation. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
I haven't heard that.
It's a brother and sister who are they call themselves lefties, but they're anti-government from top to bottom, and their parents are the most extreme MAGA, crazy, like the dad on there said, shoot every Palestinian baby that's born.
Oh, no.
Like just crazy, crazy. No. So their family essentially crumbled. They didn't speak for years. So now they dedicate 1 hour a week to hash out all this differences so they can get together on holidays. So it like, I think the mom and dad are crazy. And some of the stuff the brother and sister say, I'm like, it's a little extreme there too.
I find it amazing how many families have experienced the same thing.
It sucks. Like, it comes out every Sunday. And like, I have my wife on it now. And like, we watch it. Like, they have a YouTube and a Spotify. And it's like, we wait for Sunday. It's just, it's nice to see the interaction. And at the end of it, like, the dad on there, like, it's hard to comprehend, like, how I would feel about my dad if that was my dad, because essentially, like, your dad can do anything, right, whether you agree or not, and you're still gonna. And I know that's how that guy feels, but some of the stuff he says, like, I don't know if I could get over that as his son. Like, I don't know. You should check it out sometime. It's those conversations I like more and more and more. Unfortunately, they get testy real quick. Not necessarily by me, not necessarily not by me. You know, it just, a lot of people can't just have a disagreeing conversation and just move on past it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's what sucks.
Right.
It just sucks.
It does.
But here's a random question you probably didn't see coming. And I'm just curious on your take, and not to like dive. I mean, I guess we can get, in your opinion, who killed Charlie Kirk?
Who killed Charlie Kirk?
Was it an inside job, and how deep does it go?
Oh, boy, that's a very good question.
I will say this.
It was definitely wasn't what the person that they are saying did not do it.
I agree with that 100%.
You want to talk about the size of the round that they're saying was used, would have took old boy's head off.
So that's the other thing. It would not have stopped in a soft tissue of a
No,
neck.
it would have.
It would have went through a horse.
Yeah.
Like
a 30-aught? Come on, man.
And it would have been an explosion. Yeah. And people behind him would have been explosions. Yeah. I don't know who did it.
He was a patsy. That kid that they had was just another kid.
So my thing is this.
Scapegoated him, man.
Do you think he was it Tyler, right? Tyler Robinson, Tyler whatever. Do you think he was on the roof to do something and somebody beat him to it?
No.
Or do you think, hey,
he was acting out his part?
Here is how we're taking care of your family, or you and your family. I'm gonna need you to be up on that roof, and we're gonna.
Yeah, I think they worked him over. I don't know if you ever heard of like MK Ultra and people.
Yeah,
I think it's probably not that name of the program, but that still happens. Man.
Do you
they still
think
do that stuff to these people?
Do you think
mental health is they take advantage of a lot?
Oh, I
of those
agree.
things, man.
Do you think our government's behind it?
Yes.
To the highest level,
Israel and our. I mean, there's a lot of.
Well, here's something else. Like Ritz and I just talked today. Till we started paying attention the last 8 years.
What about his mic possibly exploding?
Yes.
Have you heard that theory?
That's a new one. So like,
I mean, you can watch it.
Here's what's crazy.
It's like, it's interesting.
Like, Candace Owens, I used to think like, shut up, Candace.
Now she's preaching, ain't she?
Do you watch her rabbit hole on this? Have you been paying? Oh my God.
That the wife's involved and everything else.
So here's my theory, total theory. I don't know who shot him. I believe Israel was
JFK moment.
Yeah, and it always will be. I believe Israel knows what happened.
On all of our fronts, they run us. You know that, right?
And that's what I was sorry.
Israel owns us.
That's what I was saying. Ritz and I didn't realize how connected we are to Israel.
They own us.
Yeah, we didn't realize that.
Look at all of our leaders, who they are, what they are. They're Israeli.
Mm-hmm.
All of our big government people are all Israelis.
I believe from the highest of our political system knows what happened and was involved, not directly, with what happened. I believe his wife knew what was coming.
I believe that. She didn't have much emotion to it.
I believe she was there knowing she was going to see this man get shot or whatever happened to him. Do you think Charlie Kirk knew it was going to happen?
No. I don't think he knew.
Right.
I think he just thought. I would hope that he didn't. I mean, who would want to sacrifice?
So that's
himself?
Another thing. Like Charlie Kirk,
he had no clue, man.
I think
they couldn't get Trump, so he's going to all these colleges and universities and waking up these students to a new way of thinking, and they couldn't have that. And what better way to try to break up what you call the MAGA movement by trying to create a divide with something of this nature? And is it going to work? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just,
don't know. It's just
and
amazing.
what sucks is we're never going to know.
Another distraction from what we weren't seeing.
Right.
What was happening that they used that
Right.
to really do something else is another question you should ask.
Well, like when she had that video came out where she first viewed his body in the casket or whatever.
Yeah.
So be it. But why'd you take somebody there to film you, and why were you mic'd?
I don't.
You know what I mean?
The whole thing, man.
And okay, they did his, I'll call it a celebration of life, which I'm not downplaying the fact this man was brutally murdered, and it's unacceptable, awful. Like, I hope people don't think I'm saying like, oh, whatever. But to like have pyrotechnics to walk out, and you know what I mean? It's just like, what are we doing? It's so bizarre to me.
I mean, I think,
it's crazy to think that I think the people that align with him more are more behind it than anything. I don't know.
It seems to be that's the way it is with everything, really. When you get something good going, it always gets broke down from within, man. It's always internally, it seems like.
Just the why. I know he started speaking out against Israel a little bit shortly before this happened. Israel puts out a statement that was allegedly dated prior to, was it the 10th he was shot, right? September 10th? Prior to like the 7th, that said they had nothing to do with it. I don't know if that's real or not.
I don't know.
But
there's a lot to it.
Either way, to put out a statement, we didn't do it.
Right.
Nobody asked you.
It definitely was not what they were wanting us to believe.
Yeah, it's bizarre. And unfortunately, we'll never know. And it's just like, if there's a thief in the room, it's not my buddy, but it could be your buddy.
Right.
It's like, I don't know. It's bizarre. Anyways, I just wanted to throw that one.
Yeah, I'm probably in more agreement with you than you think on that one.
Yeah, like that to me, that's just.
It's sad that they made a martyr of him for what?
Yeah. And
I think he was doing good stuff. I mean, I'm not going to say that. I don't agree with everything any of them do,
Right.
I think it's just a matter of using common sense and trying to weed through the BS of all of what we're being flooded with, with AI and everything else now. You have no idea what to believe in.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But I think that's what the Charlie Kirk thing, common sense doesn't tell you what happened, but it tells you that the kid they have was not involved.
So, I mean, they want us to believe that he had that rifle, fired it, then he supposedly broke it down, disassembles it, puts it in his backpack, climbs down, runs off into the woods, reassembles it,
leaves it,
and then leaves it for the FBI.
Well, then they had
get out of here.
That expert on firearms. It took him like 90 seconds to do it, and he had the proper tools. This guy had a screwdriver. The backpack, it wouldn't have fit in the backpack anyway.
It wouldn't even have fit. It's such a joke.
Yeah, but people are still. No, he did it. He did.
Yeah.
It. And then the guy down front that fell. Right after it happened, everybody gets down. This guy stands up saying, "I did it. I did it. Arrest me. Shoot me or whatever." Well, they immediately cuff him up, take him away. But then he was
a distraction, I think.
He was charged with child porn immediately. So now he can't be interviewed because he's locked up for child porn.
Great.
So like, how deep does this go?
Oh.
His security guys that stand behind him, Charlie Kirk's. You think they were in on it or knew it was coming?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I
don't know.
I'm fascinated by it.
Yeah, the whole entire thing is it's pretty sad.
We'll never know.
No. I don't think Trump got shot for real either, man. He had a little BB in his ear, a 5.5 or 2.23 round would have took his ear clean off.
So okay, I'm very glad you said that. I wasn't going to talk about
really
this.
Get shot either, man.
But
so who's really on what side?
I'm impressed. I'm impressed that you think he was not shot.
He wasn't shot
because I don't.
He went down and smacked a ketchup packet on his ear and said, "Oh, I got shot."
I will tell you this:
power to the people.
Oh my God! Like you're right. We align on that one. I think it's.
Totally
here's the other thing. I don't care how good his plastic surgeon was. Evander Holyfield got a piece of his ear bitten by a human.
Come on.
And it was still gone years later.
No, that ear would have been missing.
Yeah.
A 2.23 is equal to a 5.56.
And it didn't take any hair with it.
It pierced it.
Yeah, like
just put a little BB hole in it if you go back and watch the video. I mean, I'm like, come on now.
Now that was, to me, that was a 1,000% political stunt. Here's what we're going to do. And then you look at the one,
The golf course.
the one, Secret Service guy leaves to go and then is moving photographers this way. I'm like,
The whole thing's a sham. I almost think that was like a preemptive, now you guys on the other side can't try to shoot me and kill me.
I'm like actually excited that we see that the same.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it. Well, that's what I get for that's what I get for assuming.
Yeah.
Will we ever get to the bottom of the Epstein list?
I believe that's almost like Russia collusion was before, where they had come to find out now all that information that was put out in the beginning is all now being found out to be manipulated, manufactured, and paid for. And why they are pushing for it right now is because they have more manipulated, manufactured information that they want to come out right now, but they're not going to because the other side knows.
I assume we're in agreement that Epstein's a pedophile.
Oh my goodness!
So be it. Whatever.
All
happened to him.
of them are all of them.
Yeah.
Obama.
Yeah.
All of them.
So my
They're
thing
all
is this:
sickos, man.
everybody's like, well, if the Democrats had it, they would have released it. No, here's why: because they're going down.
They're all on it too.
100%, they're on it.
There's not anybody that's really not on it.
I feel like everybody, even his, like the biggest supporters of him, know he's involved with it.
Well, look at Prince William. Just got his princeship pulled away because why he's about to have to go under indictment and be questioned. They ain't gonna be having that. There's just so much to all of that.
Unfortunately,
go look up Ellen. Go look at Ellen DeGeneres' TV show set and tell me it don't look like Epstein Island. Go look at it next time you get on here and go look at her white chairs, the palm trees, and all the shit. Ellen DeGeneres' set is a complete mock of Jeffrey Epstein's island getaway.
Really?
Yes, 100%.
I've never heard that one.
1,000%.
I will definitely look into
1,000%.
And she's
now she lives where? In another country.
Right.
Because she ain't going to be had over here. Anne Hesh, she had her ass killed. Anne Hesh she didn't crash and die like that.
Right.
There's video footage of her trying to get out of the ambulance. Now, what happened to her when she got in the ambulance is beyond me. But Ellen DeGeneres is an evil son of a bitch. They all are, though.
Which is
Hollywood, Hollyweird, that's what it is. They're all pedos.
Man,
all the Disney kids feel bad for anybody that sends their kid to be at Disney.
Yeah, it's
I used to love all that.
Right. Yeah, it's a bizarre time.
Like, don't get me wrong either. I wanted to be a damn astronaut when I growing up. So
well, good thing you're not, because
it ain't real.
You get up there and be like, well, this is all bullshit. Oh man, you know what? Maybe we should get a GoFundMe to get you to be an astronaut, and then you'll know, and you can document.
So NASA in Hebrew means to deceive. It's pretty interesting. And then you go look at the NASA logo, and it's a serpent tongue. It's pretty wild.
Oh, now you're getting deep.
Yep, that's where I go.
Damn.
But yeah, the logo is a serpent tongue on the NASA. But NASA in Hebrew is nasha, and which means to deceive. And also NASA for me means not a space agency, for the record. Yeah,
I've heard people say that one too. And those are the people I think are just losing their mind. No offense.
I lost mine a long time ago, so.
But yeah, and this next election that comes up, the problem is whether the Democrats win or Republicans win, you can't trust it. You don't know if it's real. And eventually the Democrats are going to win again. And they're going to do the polar opposite just to override everything, rather than say, you know what, some of that shit's pretty decent.
Unless some of the policies can be changed.
Yeah.
Where,
And then eventually a Republican will win again. Well, I'm going to undo it. I don't know who's out there on either side that can say, listen, like who would ever thought?
That happens on the school board level too, and that's the problem. It's just a tug and pulling and tail wagging the dog type of thing. It's sad, man, because everybody that gets on there means well.
I agree.
I mean, everybody that gets on there has full conviction of doing all the right things.
I think,
so I'm not knocking anybody that goes out there and tries to run for any election or anything else. Kudos to you, because it is not easy.
So I think, like when you got on during that whole contentious time, people got on
Well, you got people on there that shouldn't be on there right now legally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dwayne Ratterman's the Knox County engineer, and by law, the Knox County engineer cannot be a school board member. So why aren't they addressing that situation? And he's the vice president. I mean, and that's real.
On the other side of that, though, I mean, Dwayne is a very intelligent man, a very smart man. I would assume he checked into all that, or somebody would have checked. You know what I mean? I don't know the ins and outs of it.
I'm going to say no, that they didn't. They didn't think about it at all. He was bored and didn't have anything else to do, and wanted to do that on his free time for whatever reason. I don't know why he's there. He could be golfing or fishing or something else and enjoying his life instead of making other people's lives hell, is what I got to say about that one. He's got conflict of interest here. His wife's the food director, so he's betting, there's just, but by rules of the state of Illinois, the Knox County engineer cannot be a school board member. That's just facts, but nobody's going to address it.
Right, and I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm not saying you're right, I would have
That's
think.
by the Attorney General of Illinois says so.
I would think we wouldn't do that, or he wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? That's what I like to think.
But nobody's brought it up to even say anything, because I didn't rock the boat with it when I was on with it. I could have, but I didn't. I chose not to.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it.
Yeah.
It is a real thing.
That's your theory. Or
I guess that's the Attorney General's opinion.
Okay. I know nothing
194-1 or something.
The levels of that.
I-94- something. But there's an Attorney General's opinion out there on the matter that states that.
I'm going to go with the benefit of the doubt that it was looked into, and it's the up and up.
Let's hope that's the case.
Yeah. Because, like I said, he's a real smart man. He knows, whatever. I can't imagine, But no, like when you got on the board, I think people got on for personal reasons, but with the best interest. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But when you got on the board, and the people that got on with you were like, "Oh, screw that! They're just in for themselves." In a way, you are in for yourself, you and yours.
Yeah, but I just saw that. I just felt like I saw that it was going in a bad direction, and I was going to fight like hell to try to see if I can't stop what was the landslide that was happening, and then get in there and find out just how broke we are. I mean, are we even going to have a school in a year or two? That's a big concern.
I know nothing about that.
Everything's running in the red. I mean, now we've got the elementary school down there that's condemned. That you got a $30+ million project that needs to be done. Where's that money going to be conjured?
So how do you get out of the red?
I don't know. It's gotten so far down now. I don't know how you get out of it. I mean, I'm assuming they wasted the ESSER funds. They used ESSER funds to hire hire teachers. Why would they use one temporary money to bring on new positions before, Right,
and then you got to come up with the money.
Because now you got to come up with the money after that money's gone. How are you going to continue to withstand those positions that you brought on and used ESSER money when we could have been using that money for things that needed to be fixed around here, that one and done type of projects could have been used. The boiler system that we had down there, we could have used. I mean, I think we might have used some of that, but so much money was wasted. I mean, the P cards that are being used were just being running rampant. We were getting Bath and Body Works and Amazon purchases happening. I mean, who is needing to buy Bath and Body Works on a P card?
At least it's not what happened years and years ago, and an engagement ring show up on one of those credit cards.
Yeah. No.
Because
years ago, we got, I think, a superintendent, I believe, had a buddy that sold all of us our laptops and computers and marked up the invoices on it and got out of town on it. And
I've heard that. We'll call that a theory too.
Yeah, but I can't prove it, but I believe that to be real.
Yeah, I know.
A homeboy down in Florida that he was hooked up with sold us all of our laptops and all when we were doing the Chromebook purchasing, and inflated the invoices, and they split the differences, is what I've been told. So.
You never know. I know there's been. I've told you.
Not going to name names on that, but everybody can figure out who I'm talking about.
In the same tenure, there was shady stuff going on with my dad when he worked here that I've told you about.
Yeah.
Workman's comp checks were signed in cash, and my dad never saw them.
Well, we've got a treasurer I never met. You know,
Right.
I mean, we got somebody signing checks and all that. We've asked me and Darcy prominently has begged and pleaded on numerous occasions for us to have the treasurer come in so we could just have a little Q&A with them, just to
I guess I didn't realize
put a
that.
face on it.
I didn't realize
Yeah,
that. The treasurer of the board?
Yeah, that signs all the checks for the district.
Yeah. Why did
They're
I not?
like a ghost. He's a ghost. I think it's Jen Walters' dad, if I'm not mistaken. At least at the time it was.
Okay.
But I mean, we never even see the guy. We had questions and tried to get him to come in there, and you can never ever get the superintendent to want to get him to come in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know?
Like I said, I think we're going in the right direction. I really do. I'm not
I
just
sure
saying
hope
that.
so, man. I hope things turn around.
Yeah, it can't
get
keep
much
going
worse.
It can't
get much
We can't
worse.
afford to go the same direction we've been going.
No.
But I really think like here in the building, we're going the right direction. We're making moves over there to go in the right direction.
It breaks my heart what's happening with the wrestling right now.
Yeah. All right. So yeah,
That's kinda sad situation.
the wrestling. Obviously, we're both big wrestling families.
Saddens me.
The timing of it, especially,
Yeah, right before the season. I mean,
unfortunate.
totally unplanned. You know, can't fault anybody for that. Anything that could happen
Oh.
to any one of us.
100%.
You know, with opening the door up to have a position open up. You know.
100%. So yeah, I hopefully that all works out. I mean, naturally for personal reasons, my kids are all in it.
Yeah.
You know, your kids, you were still a big part of it. So
I just think that they should have looked within to bring the one guy that kind of built the program up. They should have looked for him to be the high school coach.
but I guess maybe in theory again, like he's built such a good foundation,
But he's
keep
both,
the foundation.
But
you know what I mean?
He does both, the junior high and high. If
Right.
anybody doesn't really realize, Ed and Sharpie run both practices.
Right.
So Ed should have been, I feel like he should have been rewarded and gotten promoted up.
Right.
And Sharpie at the same time could have been rewarded with a head coaching position at the junior high, because Sharpie used to wrestle for Ed in school.
Right.
And has coached under Ed. So why wouldn't you want that one man that built that state champion to come on up and continue that?
Right.
You know, and then Sharpie could have got his feet wet down at the junior high. But I'm not saying that I'm upset, because Sharpie is an unbelievable
Right.
coach, so he's going to do fantastic. But I just think they went at it wrong, and they didn't even give the one man the opportunity.
Yeah, and-
They shit on him twice, because this is the second go around with being with this wrestling program. He's been hired and quit once before because
Yeah, that's right. Years
what
ago.
was happening.
Right.
You know, he wasn't getting treated real well.
Yeah. So hopefully hopefully it all pans.
I know.
All works out.
I'm hoping
for the kids'
so.
sake.
I hope
most
so, because
importantly,
that's where it's going to be. You don't want
'Cause
the kids to suffer.
that wrestling program is booming.
It's booming.
Like, I think the high school has over 30. We got over 10 girls, 10-ish girls.
I know.
Junior high's probably going to have 30 or more. Like,
it just sucks that we just are
That's-
finding our stride and have to have this hiccup.
yeah.
I hope it does work out, but
Maybe we can get, when we build that new school over here, a big wrestling complex like Galesburg did. You suppose? Probably not.
yeah, that would be nice.
Caleb says in the wrestling room now, they're used to having a dozen kids.
Right.
And now there's like, you can't move in there.
Right.
Which I get it. You know, roll out the mats every night in the gym, which you could, really.
Right, Jensen.
Because, I mean, really right now, basketball is going in here, one early, one
the
late.
only thing that you would lose from that is the heating of the room to be able to help
Right.
with weight cut and all
Yeah,
that stuff with
so-
wrestling.
But, I mean, we make do. We've had a lot of success. And I don't think the success is done.
No.
I think it's going to keep going.
Just think Ed should have been the head coach of the
Yeah.
high school. Sharpie should have been the junior high. Could have had Dylan come up and be the assistant instead of coming and going outside. And then you could have had Tanner, who was also part of the program, be the assistant down at the junior high with Sharpie.
Right.
And we wouldn't have had to even skip a beat. But now things are going to be wonky for a while, and I don't know how things are going to play out. I hope it
Yeah.
goes the right way, you know.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm sure there's much more we could keep going on. This is our longest one. We're at 82 right now.
I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to it. It's been informative. I'm going to look more into your earth garbage, as I'm going to call it.
Yep, you're going to wake up every morning and be like, oh, look, there's the same star.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not.
There's
you're
the
right.
morning star. There's Venus.
I get it.
Every morning.
But
I've got Venus, the morning star, and then catty corner up to the right-hand corner, there's just the same two stars as the sun's rising as I'm driving on 150 every day. I'm actually I got a time lapse. I've been trying to get pictures every day I drive when you can see them. So I can just take a 365 time lapse of that.
Well, we'll have to
see what it looks like.
We'll have to get another conspiracy theory in there somewhere and rediscuss it again.
There's plenty of them.
Oh, I'm sure. But anyways, I appreciate you joining me. Finally locking it in. Been trying for months and months. I'm definitely not opposed to doing it again sometime.
Oh, I would love to come do this again.
And hopefully everything keeps going well personally for you and your kids.
Things are starting to look up.
I just realized, like you said it earlier, but you got 6 months left, and all your kids are
all out of
adults.
high school. Yep.
How old's Kinley now?
She will be 23 on the 29th.
Really?
And then Adam's
20?
He'll be 21 in December.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's out going to school in Vegas.
Yeah. How's that going for him?
Unbelievable.
Love it.
He's just getting ready to take the very first huge certification to getting his A&P for aviation mechanics.
Okay.
He's doing real well out there.
Good.
He's way better in high school. He's got a 4.0, Clevy. Would you ever dream of that from his sleepy ass?
He was tired a lot.
You
God,
could never
I remember
wake him up.
That one year he had
always sleeping.
I think he had PE first hour, his sophomore-ish year, or when I drove with him. Remember we had to drive at 8 and he'd miss. I'm like, dude, just get out of bed.
I
man.
know.
Let's go.
I know. Is trying to get him there is unbelievable. And now,
but he found his passion.
Something that he's interested in. I mean, he's living with my cousin and my aunt out there. They got to kind of beat him with a shoe every now and again to get him up. But
is he close to the strip?
Probably like 20 minutes.
So that's close to the strip.
Yeah. He's not into all that though.
No. Which is good.
I know.
God, you don't want to get into all that because then
he works out like crazy and goes to school.
Well, that's good. All right. Well, I'm going to head home. It's I already got a message here. It's bedtime for the twins, but I will get this figured out, saved. It'll be a longer one to upload, but should be up either later or tomorrow morning. I'll let you know for sure.
All right, man.
But again, thank you for coming in, and we will do it again sometime.